Hi there, Robert Crown here. I've been meaning to say this for a long time, but what I want to talk to you about is spiritual war. And what I see happening and what I see reading, people say we're in a spiritual war, right? But from what I read and from what I've seen, a lot of people have no idea what a spiritual war is or what it's all about. In order for you to understand this, you have to go back thousands of years, okay? This isn't something that just started 4 years ago when Trump took the presidency, or 30 or 40 years ago, 50 years ago, and it's much deeper and much more profound than that. In order for you to understand this, you're going to have to put all your beliefs aside, and you're going to have to forget what you believe is true, because humanity has been told massive lies about who we are, about our history, and what is happening in the world today. And this all started thousands of years ago. It started with our language, it started with writing, it started with religion. It started with our government, politics, in every walk of life. In 2005, the National Science Foundation came out with an article. And for the life of me, I didn't save it at the time, and I scoured the internet and I still can't find it. But they did a study, and I know through HeartMath you can probably verify this statistic, that we have between 12 and 60,000 thoughts a day. 80% of those thoughts are negative. 95% of those thoughts are from the day before. Now you might look at that study and think, wow, okay, I can believe that. I think negative thoughts throughout the day, right? But that's not the question, right? What you really have to think about and ponder on is, how did we get to think so negatively? Why are we thinking negative thoughts all the time? Now, I've been through a lot in my life, as some of you know who've read my book, but we all have been, right? And all that we go through in life is to help us awaken to who we really are. So who are we? Now for this, you really need to set your beliefs aside. And please try to have an open mind. You can listen to my words, but in here, I want you to feel my vibration. I want you to feel my heart and my vibration in your heart, okay? I don't want you to think with your mind. I don't want you to receive it here. I want you to receive it in your heart. I want to ask you a question, and I want to know where you were before you were in your mother's womb. Now again, I want you to put your religious beliefs aside, and I want you to actually question those, because most of us, like me, were handed those to me when I was born, and I never questioned them. I just believed them because they were given to me. Now, where were you before you were in your mother's womb? We never really thought about it, have we? Well, they say we were created in the image of God, right? Well, if we were created in the image of God, and what does that mean? So we all come from God, we all come from source or energy. All right, well, I don't have my God dough with me, my source dough with me. So let's just take a look at this piece of pineapple for a second, okay? So let's pretend for a second that this is God, okay? So how would you describe God if we're created in the image of God? So would you say God is omniscient, all-knowing, omnipotent, all-powerful, and it also contains this great benevolent love, right? So you can call it God, you can call it source, you can call it energy. I like source. So if this is God, and this is omniscient, omnipotent, and full of this great benevolent love, and I take a piece of this, now, does this piece that I took off of here, Does this contain the same qualities? Is this peace also omniscient, omnipotent, and full of this great benevolent love? Yes, of course it is, right? So this is you in your multidimensional being. This is you. Before you come into this world, right? So now, in order to function in this physical 3D reality, you need a human body, right? So now when you come into this world, you're born into this world, your memory's wiped out, you forget who you are, and you're learning all over again, right? So you have no idea who you are, where you came from, or that you're a multidimensional being, or that you have these great powers and abilities. Some people realize this, very few when they come into this world, but most of us, like myself, didn't. So what happened? Well, this is when the programming begins. So at the time of conception, your environment is programming your subconscious mind, right? So everything that goes into the womb, everything after you're born until you're like 7, 8 years old, is programming your subconscious mind. Your environment, your parents, school, religious, the TV, the news, whatever you are exposed to, because your conscious mind is not developed and it does not have the ability to accept or reject information. And this is how your beliefs are formed. And most of us go through our entire life with these pre-programmed beliefs. We never stop to question our beliefs. Now, why do we go through suffering in our life? Well, my friends, here's a new twist for you to understand. Suffering in our life is for us to awaken to who we really are. We go through hardship, adversity, and suffering in our life. It's an attention getter. For us to look at ourselves and reflect deeply about who we are. And to discover that we're something more than this 3D meat suit that we're in. Our subconscious has been suppressed. Our soul has been suppressed, right? So we have no idea who we are. We think we are just a human being here having an experience. But we are actually something much more than that. We are a spiritual being. We are a multi-dimensional being with powers and abilities beyond your wildest imagination. So these veils of delusion and these veils of ignorance have been placed over us. These lies to humanity. Everything that we think is normal in our lives is actually used against us to suppress us, to distract us, to keep us and prevent us from discovering our true nature as an omniscient, omnipotent, and a great benevolent, multi-dimensional being. You are the Godhead. You are the co-creator of your reality. So let's get back to the spiritual war. The spiritual war is not about the election, all right? The spiritual war is about the suppression of the human consciousness and the destruction of the human heart. You can see it in all aspects of society, which they're trying to normalize, everything from pedophilia to all sorts of things, okay? I'm not going to go into all that stuff. You can just stick your head out the window. Well, how do they accomplish this? They accomplish this through various ways, right? Through the indoctrination, through movies, through TVs, science even. Yeah, science doesn't lie, but scientists do, right? We have to understand who we really are, okay? We have to remove the veils of delusion and the veils of ignorance, like I once wore, and discover who we really are. The spiritual war that's going on right now is to destroy the human heart and to destroy humanity. They want to destroy the consciousness and the soul of humanity. This is the spiritual war. This is what the spiritual war is about. You don't fight a spiritual war with memes and words. and getting angry and upset at people, okay? You win a spiritual war with love and being heart-centered. And I understand my vibration might not be that pure and high right now, but my vibration of truth is resonating at a very high level right now. So I want you to understand that when we go through difficulties in our life, sometimes we don't understand why we go through these difficulties. We don't know, they don't tell us these could be energies that are coming in from the sun, right? Or these could be from programming that's going on in the world to humanity through MK Ultra or HARP or whatever it is, that they're using us, vaccines, fluoride, whatever you want, whatever means they have, they will use it against humanity to try to destroy you. Now, the latest thing is the COVID, right? How many people are living in fear? How many people have taken their own life because of this? This is what a spiritual war is. Forget about everything else that you think is going on. This is what's happening right now. So what's the solution? How do we overcome this war? How do we win this war? Well, we already won the war, right? But in order for us to make it through so that we can see the end, we need to realize a few things. We need to reconnect with our higher self, with the Godhead within, and go inside of our heart, right here, and discover the powers and abilities that we have as a co-creator of our own reality. See, this is the thing that they don't want you to discover. This is the thing that they're distracting you from preventing to discover. Through sports, through TV, through movies, through entertaining you and taking your attention off of yourself and putting it on something else, or taking your power and giving it to something else like religion instead of going inside yourself. Religion is used at this moment in time. Let me rephrase that. Religion was created in human history for this moment in time right now, because it disempowers humanity. Jesus taught people that the Godhead is within. Okay? Some of the teachings that they have in the Bible are not the accurate teachings of Jesus. Some are taken out, some are pseudo-truths, and some have been distorted. Whether you believe me or not, I don't really care, okay? But I'm telling you that this is what the spiritual war is about. It's about you. It's about the destruction of your soul. It's about the destruction of your spirit. And it's about the destruction of the human heart. And I want you to know the only way that we're going to win this war, that you're going to win this war, is if you become heart-centered and that you rediscover what love truly is. Because when you understand what love truly is and the power of love, and I'm not talking about the love between a man and a woman or a human and an animal. I'm talking about this great, benevolent, omni-source love that is not in this 3D reality, but is out of this world. This is who we are, all right? We all have this in our heart. And this is what they're trying to take away from us. This is what they're trying to destroy. So you need to understand Try to do everything in your life through a heart-centeredness. Don't let them take this away from you. Remember who you are. Meditate on it. You are a powerful being. You are a multidimensional being, and you are more powerful than you can even imagine. I know times are tough right now for a lot of people, even for myself. We have ups and downs. But I felt it was time for me to get this message out to you, regardless of the way I look, because we need to start talking about love. There's too many people that are suffering out there and they don't know why. There's too many people that are going through unnecessary hardship, adversity, and suffering, and they don't know why. We have to look inside. The power has always been within us. It will always be within us, never without us. Thanks for listening.